It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Charles Dickens' famous words about middle school. And oh boy, was it the worst of times. I'm just gonna say, you might as well give me my diploma now, because it's only gonna get worse from here.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. So I've been here for 9 years. Some people have been here for 7, some people for 5. But whether you've been here for 9 years or for 3, you've seen a lot of changes. You've seen changes in looks, in classes, in teachers, and from flipping bottles to flipping boats, a lot has happened. And we're all about to go through another big change. You see, when we changed grades, we were always together. And as we got older, we were still, for the most part, the same people. But this is a different kind of change. Because when you go to a new school, you can be whoever you want, and you can build off that. You can be that one person who sits in the back of class and pops their elbows. Or that one person who just doesn't know where Philadelphia is. Just don't be afraid to be them. In the movie Ice Age Columbus, who were the first Americans? Beorg and Zia went on a journey and accidentally discovered America. And I ask you this, were they scared when they went off on a journey? No. Okay, maybe, but no, they were not. Was Beorg scared when rival tribe member Mackay told him, "Ich sag bien, Beorg." I'm hungry, Beorg. And a very, very clear, ostensible threat against Beorg. Was he scared when that happened? No. And was Zia scared when her dad was killed by a seal?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not going to happen to you, so you don't have to be afraid about that. So if somewhere from now to high school you trip and you fall, I am confident that you will catch yourself. And if you don't, then one of these students sitting next to you will. Unless you actually fall. Only a couple kids here have the sick, nasty reflexes fast enough to catch you then. But that is one of the great things that this school has done for us. They have taught us the importance of community and the importance of staying strong. And they have also taught us how to approach a problem and how to ask a question. Whether that question is, how do I make my Google Science Fair actually work, or who put 2 discs in the Xbox, doesn't matter. Because SCDS taught us how to find our own answers. And believe it or not, not everybody has had that experience, which means that now we get to become the teachers. We get to bring our experience wherever we're going. And in the words of Will Ferrell from the movie The Other Guys, a lion? Swimming in the ocean? Lions don't like water. If you placed it near a river or some fresh water source, that makes sense. But you find yourself in the ocean, 20-foot waves, I'm assuming off the coast of Africa, and you find yourself coming up against a full-grown 800-pound tuna and his 20 or 30 friends. You lose that battle. You lose that battle 9 times out of 10. And guess what? You've wandered into our school of tuna, and we now have a taste of lion. We have talked to ourselves. We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's get some more lion. We will construct a series of breathing apparatus with kelp. We will be able to trap certain amounts of oxygen. And it's not going to be days at a time, but an hour, hour 45, no problem. End quote. In other words, we have now had a taste of good education and good community, and we are not going to give up on that. We are going to bring that wherever we go. And I don't even know if you all realize how good of a school SCDS actually is. In fact, I think there's really only one person who can truly express it. This person is exquisite, tasteful, extroverted, quite a looker, might add. And commonly described as very clearly not Austrian. So believe it or not, this person is not me, but none other than the soon-to-be SCDS alum and Austrian foreign exchange student, Craig. Hello there, everybody. The name is Craig. Spelled K-R-A-I-G and E with an umlaut. Now, as you all know, I joined the SCDS community earlier this year after my family moved from Austria. And once I got to school on the very first day, I found that the kindness of the students and the kindness of the teachers was quite astounding. Yeah. And as the ancient Austrian proverb says, wer Fuß befurzt, der braucht kein Orst. No! Anyway, as I walked through the hallways of Seattle Country Day School, and as I prepared to shuffle Husselbauer, I was reminded of the words of a very, very famous American poet. These words were, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Fool, I'm the kind of G that little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers to the street light. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Ah, 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 ah. I felt like that was quite relevant. Now, clearly that was a bit of an exaggeration. And clearly when Craig said, as I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, he was just talking about going to see the play Woody Says. And when he talks about how little homies want to be like him, he was just talking about how people look up to SCDS students and the kind of education they get. Which is true. Because schools are required to teach you certain courses, but a good school isn't one that teaches you what's required, and a good school isn't one that teaches you the right answers. A good school teaches you how to find the right questions and how to answer them. And this is a good school with great teachers, and everybody knows it. And I know I'm smarter because of it, because of the teachers, because of the students. Because you don't learn anything from a textbook that you can't learn even better from a classroom. You don't learn who you want to be from a textbook. You learn it from your teacher and your peers. And because of this community, you now know how to aspire for your future. When you realize you want to spend the rest of your life doing something, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. And when you realize who you want to be, it's not who you want to be when you grow up, it's who you want to be now. That is what this SCDS community has taught me. And that's what I think about when I remember not only today, but the 9 years that I've been here. I'll remember how the SCDS community taught me that there is nobody to be but myself. How this community taught me that Hawaii Five-0 is incredible. And how earlier this year, this community taught me where the Gulf of Mexico is. But along with the students, there have been some other great inspirations in this community, and not just the teachers, but all the faculty and the parents. Everybody from Mr. Sweeney to Todd Escasilius to Daniel to Joan Stockton. You have all taught us that if you want to be a pasta chef, be a pasta chef. If you want to be a food critic, be a food critic already. And if you want to spend your recess getting water bottles, okay, you know what, don't do that. That was a bad example. But if there's anything aside from that you want to do, you should do it. And you should make that change to be that person. And you should make that change now. Because now is the time to move on to new places. Luckily, though, these people will still be in our lives. And I'm pretty sure that's a good thing. Because I know it's true for me, and maybe for some of you guys too, but these people are the best part of me. You see, when we were in Spain, we were told that they've been waiting to go on this trip for a really long time, but that they've been waiting for the right class to bring. And at first, I thought, well, it's too bad you gave up on that dream. But I've come to realize realize what they meant. When I decided to come here in kindergarten, it was because both my brother and my sister went here. What I never could have predicted, though, is the reason why I stayed. And that reason is the people around me. And it's because of SCDS that these children aren't just great students, but good people. And after all we learned, it shouldn't be hard to learn how to say goodbye. Kinda is, though. Which is why I had so much trouble coming up with an ending to this speech. So I thought I'd give you a couple of my ideas. Let's see. Oh, this one's actually true. I did actually do this. Hello there! One of you audience members will go home a very lucky person. Before you all got here, I hid $20 cold hard cash under one of these seats. It's pretty far under there, but if you look, you'll be able to find it. So if you all like to stand up and look for the 20 bucks, unless you don't want it, you can do that. Also, if you find it, please give it to me afterward. I'm kind of short right now. Another idea for an ending I had was a bit more of a serious ending, and it just says there's no better way to say goodbye than to settle all my beefs right now. So some of you guys, you owe me money. You know who you are. Just meet me after this. It's all good. You better have it on you though. So, oh, and one of my actual favorite endings was just some advice. Actually, just more words to live by. I'm being serious. This one's actually pretty serious. It says, life is a highway, and I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna drive it all night long. And lucky for you, my final ending, so don't worry, you'll be able to go after this one. Oh wait, no, there's more stuff. Never mind, sorry about that. It just says, after 9 years of going to this school, you think I'd say, oh, good riddance. But instead, I think I'm gonna sing it for you, so one second. Sing along if you want. This is an awesome song. It's something unpredictable. Whoop, messed up. You can forget about that one. Also, if you're sitting next to my mom, please give her some tissues. She's probably crying right now, so just let's restart this. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life.
Fantastic. That's so great with the